Hi, if we haven't met before, my name's Matt and I'm one of the leaders and one of the elders at Real Life Church. I'm just going to share some of what's going on in my head at the moment and how I am processing everything during this season of lockdown. I hope that it might be of help to someone to hear what's going on with me. Firstly, I have to admit there's been so much that I've really enjoyed about the last year. Please hear my heart on this. I truly wish that coronavirus had never happened and that nobody had been ill or had died as a result. And since the start of the virus, we've been praying for protection over our church and our community. But for us, thankfully, it's kept its distance, and I'm so absolutely grateful to God for this. As a family, though, we've spent a lot of time outdoors and a lot of time together in the park, making fires, eating in the garden, playing games, getting closer together. And we've had some really special times, and I think the last year will actually shape how close we are as a family. And for me, generally, the pace of life has slowed right down. Less meetings, less rushing, more time with my family, more time with people, and I'm desperate to keep as much of this as I can. We've spent so much time walking, talking, sitting, chatting with people in church and with our friends and neighbours that have not yet found Jesus. I feel apprehensive about getting back into the rush of life as we make decisions about the next season. So I'm trying to keep all this in my mind as we look to the future. There have, though, been many times when everything has just felt too much. The pressures of trying to work at home. I've been watching Phil take the lead so beautifully with homeschooling, but also feeling guilty that I wanted to do more. And when those pressures from work, church, life are mounting, for me, even the smallest additional thing to do can send me into a bit of a panic, and I tend to shut down, withdraw, and stop communicating. I kind of picture it a bit like a tornado. I feel like everything's spinning, and I just don't know how to stop it. I'm kind of in that phase right now with lots of pressures rising at the same time. So as I look ahead into the next year and all that it's going to bring, my head can really start to spin. I'm very excited about seeing people, about meeting together in groups and hopefully as a church, but at times it feels like there's just so much to do and I have no time to fit it all in. There is so much of this season that I don't want to give up, but there's also so much that I want to bring back into my life. But fortunately, I've got an amazing wife and some great friends, and I've shared with them what I need to do to step out of this kind of tornado of life, to slow down and get the headspace I need to think clearly, to talk to God, to pray and start communicating with people again. And this is so important. They might not always get the best reaction from me at first, like today, when I finally got my bike again, which was, to be honest, the last thing I wanted to do, even though I knew it would help me. And when I get my own space, I know that everything falls back into balance and I see things more clearly. It's difficult that often the thing that I know will help me, like getting on my bike or getting outdoors, becomes the hardest and most impossible thing to do when you need it the most. But time and time again, people like Phil have helped me by reminding me in love it's time to get out for everyone's sanity. So, going forward, I'll keep making decisions to go out, to socialise, to exercise, to enjoy the countryside, even when it feels really hard and feels like too much to squeeze in. And when I don't do that, I know that people in my life will remind me what I need to do, and deep down I know this is good for me.